There is about 2 days until the Kansas Jayhawks takes on either West Virginia or the Texas Tech Red Raiders. And in this podcast, I'm just going to be breaking down who I think is going to win the Texas Tech and West Virginia game. So here's the podcast. Hope you guys enjoy. If you guys do, make sure you subscribe down below and like the podcast. And we will be starting to stream or make our podcast on Spotify. We will be going live when we get verified at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time every day, Monday through Friday. Not weekends, because I won't have anything to do on the weekends. So here's the podcast. I hope you guys enjoy for March 7th, Tuesday. We have two amazing teams going at it tomorrow. Tomorrow at, let me see what time. I don't know what the time is. I think it's 7 o'clock tomorrow. And the winner of that game will play the Kansas Jayhawks. And a game where I think it could go either way. The 9 seed Texas Tech playing the 8 seed West Virginia. And West Virginia has been on a roll recently. They've won 2 straight, and going into tomorrow, I think they could beat Texas Tech. But I think it's going to be a much closer game than what people are expecting. But Texas Tech also is going into tomorrow on a 1-game losing streak. They lost against Oklahoma State on Saturday by 3 in Texas Tech, so that could have been a trap game, but and then they obviously lost last week against us when we claimed the championship, and then before that game, they lost against TCU by 1 point, actually, that really determined what seat they got in the Big 12 tournament. And then their last win was February 21st. So they're trying to look to snap that tomorrow against the Mountaineers. But are they going to get it done? I have no idea, but my guess is to probably pick the West Virginia Mountaineers just because, they're on a 4-game losing streak. Texas Tech is on a 4-game losing streak. So I don't really want to say I'm going to pick them to go with, even though they just won 3 straight. But I do think the Red Raiders could beat the West Virginia Mountaineers. I don't really want to say it's an upset because they're the 8th seed and Texas Tech is the 9th seed, so it's not really an upset. It's 1 seed behind. But I think that should have been flopped. I think West Virginia should have been 9, and then Texas Tech should have been 8, because I think Texas Tech is just a little bit up on that level of play, and I think West Virginia is just a little bit worse than Texas Tech. So whoever wins this game plays the Jayhawks on Thursday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Remember, this podcast is from Pennsylvania, so we get a different time zone. So if it is West Virginia, I think we win either way. If it's West Virginia or Texas Tech, even though the Big 12 has been insane this year, probably one of the best conferences in all of sports. No, not all of sports, but like all of college basketball, the best conference in the nation. But I do think if the Texas Tech Red Raiders do win that, I think it's going to be a shock to some people because Texas Tech is not that good of a team, especially losing 3 straight or 4 straight. If they lose tomorrow, it would be 5 straight. Or it might be 3 straight, and then if they lose tomorrow, it's 4 straight. But, we've beaten them 2 times, each of them 2 times, if I'm not mistaken. think we did beat them 2 times this year. Yeah. We beat them by 3, January 3rd. The final score was 75-72. Um, and then we just beat them the other week, a week from today actually. Um, so, and we beat them 15, was it? Oh, it was by 4, yeah. We beat them by 4. The final score was 63-67. My take is, I think I'm going to take West Virginia by 7.5. I think they could win by 10, but I'm going to give them 7.5. And that will wrap it up for today's podcast. I think it will be Kansas, West Virginia. And we will be back live tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern Time when I get back from school. Everybody have a great rest of your night.